When I first moved into Brookside Meadows, I was enchanted by the neighborhood's picture-perfect lawns, tree-lined streets, and tidy homes. I'm Alex, a devoted animal lover and the proud operator of the local animal shelter, and I knew that blending my passion for rescuing and caring for animals with suburban living was going to be an adventure. Brookside Meadows was a meticulously maintained community, where every detail was monitored by a strict HOA. While many residents cherished the neighborhood's pristine appearance, I was excited by the opportunity to make a positive impact by providing a safe haven for abandoned pets. Even though the HOA's rules were designed to uphold perfection, I believe that compassion and community spirit could enrich this meticulously regulated environment in ways that even the strictest guidelines couldn't capture. It wasn't long after settling in that I first encountered the infamous HOA enforcer herself, HOA Karen. I was out one sunny afternoon with my dog, Daisy, enjoying a leisurely stroll around Brookside Meadows when I saw her approaching. Standing at the far end of the block, clipboard in hand and dressed in her signature sharp pastel blouse and skirt, Karen's steely gaze swept over the neighborhood as if she were on a mission. Neighbors whispered that she had an uncanny knack for catching even the slightest rule breaker, and today was no exception. As she passed by, she shot a disapproving look at a house with an unconventional garden gnome display. Her posture was impeccable, every move deliberate. She exuded an aura of unwavering authority that made you wonder if she even slept. I could feel Daisy's ears perk up as if she sensed the tension, and I knew that Karen's presence meant that nothing in Brookside Meadows would ever stray from her strict definition of perfection. In that moment, I realized that living in this neighborhood wasn't just about owning a home. It was about navigating a maze of rules and regulations, all overseen by someone who believed that even a stray leaf out of place was a sign of impending chaos. Little did I know, this encounter with Karen would set the stage for a battle that was about to challenge everything I thought I knew about rules, compassion, and community. Daisy isn't just any dog. She's my loyal companion and a symbol of everything I stand for. Even before Brookside Meadows became my home, I'd already been immersed in the world of animal rescue and care. Running the local animal shelter isn't just a job. It's my calling. Every rescued pet that finds a home in our shelter reminds me why compassion matters more than rigid rules. On quiet afternoons, Daisy and I often visit the shelter, a modest but bustling facility where wagging tails and hopeful eyes greet you at the door. I remember one particularly busy day when we rescued a shy little terrier from a harsh winter night. Seeing that pup transform under our care made me realize that every creature deserves a second chance. Daisy, with her gentle, reassuring presence, has a way of putting both the animals and the staff at ease, almost like she's the shelter's little ambassador. Balancing the demands of Brookside Meadows' strict guidelines with my deep commitment to these animals has always been a challenge. I've spent countless evenings strategizing ways to ensure that both the shelter and my own pet could coexist in a neighborhood where every rule was enforced with an iron fist. And yet, every time I see Daisy wag her tail or hear a grateful bark from one of our rescue companions, I'm reminded that the true essence of community isn't found in perfect lawns and strict rules. It's found in compassion and the willingness to care for those who need it most. Little did I know, this commitment was about to clash head-on with HOA Karen's vision of perfection, setting the stage for a confrontation that would test not only my resolve but also the values I hold dear. It all happened on a warm, breezy afternoon as I was enjoying a walk with Daisy around the block. Out of nowhere, HOA Karen stormed up, her expression a mix of indignation and determination. Clutching a stack of printed HOA guidelines, she pointed an accusing finger at Daisy. "Your dog is in violation of our pet policies," she declared, her voice firm and unwavering. "Pets like yours cause disturbances and simply don't belong in Brookside Meadows." I was taken aback. "What are you talking about, Karen? Daisy is well-behaved and a cherished member of our community and my life." But she wasn't having it. With a stern glare, she continued, "According to these regulations, you must remove your pet immediately. I'm filing a formal complaint, and if you don't comply, the HOA will enforce a ban." Daisy whimpered softly, sensing the tension. I felt a surge of protectiveness and disbelief. This wasn't just about a misunderstanding of rules. It was an outright attempt to punish me for loving my dog. Little did I know, this was just the spark that would ignite a larger battle about compassion versus conformity in our neighborhood. At that moment, before Karen could escalate her tirade any further, I took a steadying breath and looked her straight in the eye. "Karen, there's something you might have overlooked," I began, my voice calm but firm. "Daisy isn't just my pet. She's also a cherished member of our local animal shelter, which I run." I paused to let the words sink in. Our shelter is a lifeline for countless abandoned and rescued animals in Brookside Meadows. We work hard to give these animals a second chance, and our efforts have the full support of the community. Daisy represents more than just a violation of your arbitrary rules. She embodies the compassion and care that this neighborhood desperately needs. For a split second, Karen's eyes widened in disbelief, and I saw uncertainty ripple across her usually unyielding expression. My revelation was a game changer. Suddenly, the battleground wasn't just about a fence or a pet. It was about standing up for an entire community of voiceless creatures. With the air still charged from our tense exchange, I knew it was time to take matters to the next level. I arranged for an emergency meeting with the HOA board, determined to set the record straight. At the meeting, I presented everything: Uncle Leo's detailed report, testimonials from community members, and heartfelt letters from local veterinarians attesting to the positive impact of the animal shelter. I explained clearly and calmly that Daisy wasn't merely a pet. She was a living symbol of our community's compassion and commitment to animal welfare. As I spoke, the room grew silent. One by one, board members expressed their support, questioning whether an outdated rule should override the well-being of animals and the heart of our neighborhood. Even a few longtime residents admitted they'd been quietly troubled by Karen's relentless enforcement. Confronted with this overwhelming evidence and heartfelt community backing, Karen's rigid stance began to crumble. In the end, the board unanimously voted to retract the ban, stating that rules should enhance, not hinder, our community spirit. The decision was a resounding victory, not just for me, but for every creature that had found refuge in our shelter. In the days that followed, Brookside Meadows buzzed with a renewed sense of unity and understanding. Daisy trotted along happily, a proud ambassador of our local shelter, and I noticed even Karen softening, occasionally offering a small nod or a brief smile when our paths crossed. This win was a powerful reminder that compassion and community always prevail over rigid conformity. And in that moment, I knew that our neighborhood was on the path to a more caring, inclusive future, one where every voice, whether human or animal, could be heard and celebrated.